Yo, 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 what's going on, ladies and gents, and all those that decided to come out tonight? It's your boy, Deontay. For once, not being in the character seat, I'm actually the DM for this beautiful campaign that I've come up with myself. It's really terrifying, actually. But welcome to the first episode of Insurgence the Elementals. I am here joined with some of our illustrious, wonderful players. So, before we get anything else started, say hi, players.
Hi,
Hey, players.
players!
Oh my goodness, this is scary. This is exciting.
You unmuted us, right?
Yes.
Hearing Mystery say hi players with us was great.
I'm
Made
like,
happy.
I know it's weird. It's crazy. All right. So, Insurgents, the Elementals, guys. This has been a little Lovecraftian project that I've been working on for a little while with the help of our illustrious Mr. E, who is not in the big boy chair for once. It's actually me, which is a little more nerve-wracking because usually he causes the chaos. This time I have to rein in his chaos. We should be excited for that. We've got some returning faces. You have Vi, you have Cole. We have some new faces in the form of Rome. And with that being said, before we start, tell everyone who you are and who you will be playing this campaign. From, let's say left down, then right down, then center. So side, boom.
Wait.
That means
Don't make
Vi
it
goes
complicated.
first. Vi, you go first.
Alrighty, I can do that. Hi, everyone. I am Violet. I play Narina Boreas, and I'm super excited for this one. So great to see you all back.
Let's go with Rome.
Look at you made it really confusing.
Hey, Zoe.
Rome the Relentless. I'm gonna be playing a paladin.
Noise. Next we have Shiny.
Hi, it's Cole. I'm playing Shiny Shekel today. I'm really excited. This is gonna be so much fun.
Future Chaos Lord of the campaign. Let's give it up for Elijah.
Hello. I'm Eddie. You guys already know that. But I'll be playing Elijah. Elijah's a fear. I'm excited for it.
All right. We are potentially waiting for one more member to join us, but while we're doing that, just want to go over some things really quick before we start streaming. First and foremost, thank you guys for coming out to this first episode. You guys are fantastic. We will we will, starting episode 2 and on, have the dice rolls that we had during last campaign. For all those who know, you donate 500 bits, or if you subscribe, then we will be rolling some magical dice that have some really good things or some really bad things depending on what's happening, or how we roll. Bear with me. With that being said, let's kind of go ahead and just jump in there. In the land of Voltaire, the 5 elements, fire, water, wind, earth, and lightning, all contribute to the balance, making the kingdom itself whole. The kingdom of Zifa is where the main shrine is held, where all the elemental powers gather together. Here in the kingdom of Zifa, it's a very large, bustling kingdom where all types of races congregate together. You have different creatures of all walks that normally wouldn't be seen together congregating in this area to prepare for the games. The games are held once every year, the Elemental Games, where one chosen champion from each island, respectively, comes to represent and see which element is considered the strongest that year. We will be starting by checking in on Narina Boreas from the Kingdom of Oshia. In the Kingdom of Oshia, many sorry, it's hot in here. Many scholars are born from this kingdom. they put such a strong emphasis on knowledge and learning things and passing on said knowledge through different rituals and practices and books and lore. It's considered the hub of the entire Voltaire kingdom for where the knowledge is. Deep inside. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm taking it out. Okay. Right. Deep inside of the Academy of Neptus, we find Narina. It's tucked away in a corner, reading up on scrolls and just absorbing as much knowledge as she can. As she's sitting there, going through her studies like she normally would, she hears a voice peek around from behind one of the bookcases. Ma'am, we are getting ready to close the library shortly. Can I have you finish up whatever you're doing and make your way towards the exit?
Well, I could do that, or I could continue reading, and you could just pretend you didn't see me.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, it's my first day here, and I'd rather keep the job, and I was just told that we have to tell everyone to leave. You know, everyone's getting ready to leave for the games, and I would just hope that you wouldn't give me too much of an issue, he says very nervously, trying to not incite any discourse.
All right, fine. Can I bring the book with me?
I don't know if that's really such a good idea, ma'am.
Narina's gonna just kind of like tuck the scroll that she's reading underneath her arm. Trust me, you won't miss it. You'll be fine. I'll bring it back first thing in the morning, like literally as soon as you open the doors. You know where I'll be.
You know what? That's fine. Enjoy the rest of your evening. He kind of sulks back into the front of the library where you can go and lock up everything.
Alright.
Narina, as you're walking through this library, you can see these giant, tall shelves as high as the building itself, maybe 20 feet tall, just full of different books, ladders that help you get up to the higher levels. It smells of old knowledge in the sense of you can tell that some of these books have been here since probably the beginning of this library being established. It has this feel of peace and serenity, but also curiosity and wonder. What are you doing?
I guess Narina is going to. She gets kind of sidetracked by like all of the stuff. She spent many hours here, and she grabs one more scroll and just like tucks it under her shirt, and then she's gonna walk out. She's gonna leave.
As she's walking towards the entrance, or the exit rather, the guy, the bookkeeper, comes out. You did just take the one scroll, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm gonna need you to roll for a persuasion, because he's looking you up and down, and he already knows that you're known for these things. He's been briefed on you before he started the job.
Right, all right. Yep, that would be a 20. Mod 20.
He kind of just looks at you and, okay, enjoy the rest of your night, and then goes back into his little shuffling that he's doing. So as you're walking out of the library, you enter into the courtyard of the academy. What feels like a normal academy full of like trees and wildlife and things that you would normally see on any regular campus, all of a sudden becomes very mystical and magical because it's all underwater. You see different arrays of fish and other sea turtles and creatures kind of floating through the areas, swimming through. You living in the kingdom of Ocean and Neptus, a lot of you are very adept to breathing underwater, so it makes sense for you to keep all of your prized possessions that you wouldn't want the rest of the world to have its grubby little hands on underwater, where only you guys are able to get to. And as you're looking up, you can see specks of light coming from the surface through different window panes that kind of give an array of like blues and greens throughout the courtyard. You can feel the cold breeze kind of drafting through like you would normally when standing near the shore, but underwater. And as you're kind of taking in this sight, all you hear is, "Ah, there goes my darling daughter." It's your not father-in-law, your stepfather, rather, Titus. Titus is a big, burly man. You can see him stroking his tentacles. Pause. You can see him, just. You can see him kind of just, cleaning himself. Cleaning himself. For all intents and purposes, he's cleaning himself. And he's towering over you, kind of 7 feet tall, just looking down. How are your studies? How's everything going with you?
Just fine. Titus, what are you doing here?
Well, I figured that seeing that the games are going to be starting pretty soon, maybe you'd want to come with us, or at least ride with me while we go down to the Kingdom of Zifa. A little bonding time.
You know I have absolutely no interest in these games. It's a waste of time.
You can't spend your entire life reading books and scrolls forever. There's a whole world outside there as well that you have to physically interact with. It's not all inside of a manual.
It's literally all inside of the manual.
Is it really? As he starts to scratch his head.
Ugh, you are an absolute buffoon.
I'll take that in an endearing sense as he tries to put a hand on your shoulder. Okay, well. You should probably go check on your mother before you do anything, because, it's getting late and we want to make sure she's taken care of. And hopefully I see you guys there. I'm going to have to head out a bit earlier. I have to make sure that some of the ships are taken care of for everyone else that's traveling out ahead of time so that there's no issues with them before they depart.
Yeah, I would definitely avoid the southern entrance if I was you. Just some historical insight from the manual. And she's going to just kind of nod and shuffle away towards home.
That girl. I swear. Meanwhile, not meanwhile in the sense of how we normally do our meanwhiles, but meanwhile, we're going to check up on Shiny Shekel. Oh.
The exact same way.
Yeah, I guess, but stop it. Let me live, I'm sorry. Okay. In the kingdom of Navridge, the kingdom is bustling with life, flora and fauna as far as the eye can see. The ideal oasis, one would consider it the Eden of life, basically, with how everything's thriving there. You can smell a mixture of the local flowers there, as well as meals being prepared through all the vendors as you're going into the village. You can see children running around, climbing through trees, swinging around, adults doing trades and bartering with each other, people playing in the town square as they're all celebrating, getting ready for the games. And as we tuck away into a smaller part of the woods, just right outside of town, we see the tail of Shiny Shekel. Shiny, as you're up in the tree, you can see another tabaxi walking around, just kind of minding her business, smelling a patch of flowers nearby, not really paying attention to her surroundings. What are you going to do?
Is this a tabaxi I recognize?
Absolutely.
Which one is it?
Why don't you jump and find out? Just kidding. What are you going to do?
Well, it depends on who it is.
You would recognize this tabaxi as your long-term friend. By the I'm trying
yeah.
to remember you.
So Shiny, Sorry, my actual cat have an issue. I'm good though. So Shiny sees. All right, and sees Cleo walking down below, and like gets up on the branch, and pulls her tail up behind her, and goes to pounce on her to tackle her to the ground.
I'm gonna need
It
you
was silly
to.
goofy, haha.
We're gonna need you to roll to see if you actually land on her. So let's do an acrobatics.
Ooh, I like that.
Let's see.
That is 13.
So just as you're about to land on Cleo, Cleo gracefully sidesteps and lets you land on the floor. You know, normally if you're trying to sneak up on somebody, you want to actually be, I don't know, sneaky?
Listen, if I wanted to sneak up on you, I definitely could. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I gave you a warning shot.
Whatever helps you sleep. She punches you in the arm. So as you two
She
are
gets up,
walking,
like, what?
Cleo starts walking back towards the village and kind of waves for you to come follow her.
Oh yeah, I like get up and like trail after her, and I put my arm through hers. What you doing?
Trying to find you. I mean, obviously people are getting ready to leave to go for the games, and you're out here pretending to be sneaky, which, once again, like I said, isn't your best forte.
Oh shit, is that today?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you're such a scatterbrain sometimes, I swear.
I do my best. And do we see anything that like kind of stands out? Like, she has a tendency to like look for anything weird, or would you prefer I roll for perception?
Roll for perception.
Cool. So 7. We're gonna get the bad rolls out early.
Gotcha. So it just looks like normal random patches of flowers, any signage that the village folk would put out leading towards like certain sectors of the village itself. Nothing that really stands out too much. As you guys are walking into the village, you see a couple kids run past you yelling, "The games are here! The games are here!" Just excited about everything, and parents running after them, trying to get them in control. And Cleo turned to you. No, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I can't wait to see who's gonna play in the games this year. It's always so fun.
You know, I was really hoping that I would be the one that'd be chosen this year.
You think you have a chance?
I have a better chance than
People
you
don't
do.
take you. No, I could definitely take you right here and right now.
Shiny, listen. She puts both of her hands on your shoulders. Your name may be Shiny, but your personality's so dull. There's no way they'd pick you. Oh,
I thought we were friends.
we are. She kind of like gives you a little like shoulder punch.
After all those times I've saved you in the woods, the drama of it all.
It was for character development. I was never in any danger, except maybe that
my
one
God,
time. But I'll
don't.
never tell you to your face.
And she like pushes her and keeps walking.
As you're going into the village, people are looking at you too, just laughing it up, enjoying the conversation, and a group of women, maybe 20 feet away from you, are in a deep huddle, and there she goes again, probably doing something super heroic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's definitely doing it just to get the attention. I'm pretty sure she wants to make sure that she does it so she can win the favor and potentially be the champion. And Cleo hears all of this as her ears perk up. It would be wise of each and every one of you disgusting bilge rats to watch what you say about my friend, because my bite is worse than her bark. And she kind of like flares her fangs at them, and they kind of step off and water check. They step off and water check. That's what they do.
She goes and laps up some water from a barrel.
Screaming.
Cleo like looks around, or no, Shiny looks around and she's like, Cleo, do you have another friend?
Don't worry about it. As they're walking,
Okay.
she kind of shoots those ladies one more like glare as they kind of dissipate, and then they're continuing to walk on. As you're going towards the center of the village, you're immediately hit with a array of different smells, different vegetables being roasted, meats being turned on the pike, different meals and dishes that are being created as everyone's getting ready to celebrate. And you see your parents in the center of the town. Your dad is putting up a banner while your mom is holding the ladder steady. Oh, Shiny, it's you! And as she turns to go and run over to you, the ladder completely falls and your dad completely lands face first onto the ground. Oh,
Tiny gasps, and she like runs over to her dad and tries to start like helps him up. Dad, what happened? Again?
sorry. You know, your mother, once she sees you, she just can't help but get excited. Ouch.
You guys are so silly. Oh, Dad, do you need help? Do you need
No, I'm fine. It's
bandage?
I'll walk it off. It's okay. So
Okay.
your mother comes up
I
and
think
runs
it's
and
herbs.
grabs your hands. Oh, don't worry about your father. He's fine. Are you excited for the games this year, honey? I'm so excited
I'm
to see
really
who's going to
excited.
represent us.
Absolutely. I'm so excited, Mom. This is gonna be so much fun. It's so much fun every time we go.
Okay, well, you know, we're going to leave a little bit earlier. Like we said, I know you and Cleo planned on going together. Make sure that you pack any things that you need. Make sure that you brush your teeth. Make sure you clean under your claws, clean your ears. Make sure your tail's brushed. Make sure that you have enough food. And
Mother, I'm grown this year. I can do it.
I know. It's just, you're my
I'm
sweet
18.
little...
I'm an adult.
You'll always be my sweet little kid. And as she's like ruffling up your fur and your
Mom!
ear. I'm
You like
sorry. Sorry. Okay, well, we'll be off. Make sure you get there safely. Find us as soon as you get there, okay?
okay. I'll see you there.
Okay. We'll see you soon.
Bye. And she like turns back around to Cleo and like,
Cleo's just looking at you like,
we are embarrassing today.
you always gonna be my little kitten.
I'm going to scratch your face off.
And she runs from you as you chase after. Meanwhile,
Yep.
high above the mountains, above all the kingdoms, lies Ceruli. Magical floating islands. Some not sure how old the magics are, but the islands have been there as long as Voltaire has been in existence. There we see the golden sunrise peeking through clouds, almost in this ethereal golden light casting all over the entire town. And then the piece is broken up by a group of children flying through the air at Mach speeds, carrying streamers and colorful powders as they're spreading through the sky. Celebrations rampant through the city. In the town square, you see people placing their bets on who's going to be picked as the champion. People trying to get people to buy things from their shops, almost wares that are game specific. You have people looking around through the different shops, glowing with lights and music playing through. And in a dark alleyway, not so dark, but slightly less lit up than the rest of the streets, you see two men lying there on the floor, somewhat bloody, as you see our next character, Rome the Relentless, standing above them. One of the guys looks up and wipes blood off his mouth. We didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no reason for us to be attacked by you like that. Yeah, you're a paladin and whatnot, but that doesn't give you the right to be so aggressive. And this other partner says, yeah, I mean, the old lady, she kind of had it coming to her. It wasn't really our fault, right?
For instance, I look at them both and tell them to get out of there. You shouldn't be here anymore. I'm done with you two. Be gone.
This won't be the last to see of us. Yeah, what he said. As they run off and one of the guys trips over himself, picks up and then continues running off. Rome, as you're stepping out into the center square, you see a couple people kind of recognize you. oh my gosh, it's Rome, it's Rome, it's Rome, oh my goodness, it's Rome. And they kind of clear a path for you kind of towards the center. You have a couple people, thank you so much for what you did helping us before. You're a hero. We really appreciate everything. That guy's so cool. I owe you a drink next time you're back in town. And just a slew of people just praising you. And you get to the center and there's a little old man there. Ah, well, if it isn't Rome, what a pleasure to see you here. Do you think that you'll be picked for the games this year?
Not sure if I'll be chosen, but if I am, I will be a victor.
That's just what we'd expect from our champion. But then again, who knows? They might pick me. And as he tries to swing at you with his old frail arm, it just falls shortly. Huh. Well.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Not this year. Maybe another year. But you should be safe for now.
Ah, whatever you say. So, I can't help but feel like there's just something that doesn't feel too right about this year. I could be wrong though, but call it old man's intuition. Maybe I'm just getting up there in age. I'm not too sure, but it just seems a little ominous this year.
Every year is bloody, but who knows what the next one brings. We'll see.
Well, and as he reaches out and actually grabs onto your shoulder this time, if you are the chosen, which I'm putting my life on it, though there's not much life left in me, I'm pretty sure you'll come out victorious. And if not, what's the worst that could happen? We could all laugh at you and completely ridicule you. He kind of looks you up and down. But that would never happen, right?
I would hope not.
Okay. So as the old man kind of shuffles out of the way to the side to kind of just get himself together, you see this board where everyone's placing all of their different bets and stuff on who they think was going to be their chosen champion for this year. People forming up different groups as you can see them amongst the circle square, or the town square, and you can see your name is on there. Pretty high up on the list, but there's someone right underneath you that also proves to be a interesting candidate. His name is Cade, and he trained with you when you guys were training up to become paladins. And just as you're reading his name on the board, he kind of pops up. Ah, my rival. Look at you, looking as modern as ever. By the gods, I promise you, I will be the chosen champion. I will do our city proud. Unless you plan on trying to take that position from me.
We'll see how the odds play in our favor.
Odds. I am blessed by the gods. You think I need these minor odds that you speak of? I am a chosen, and you are nothing but a poser. As he walks off, girls are swooning. Oh my goodness, it's Cade. As he storms off, not storms off, as he walks off, you can see people kind of looking at the grouping for what it is and just allowing themselves to be swayed by that, looking in between the two of you. Who's going to be the champion? Voices, different conversations going on. Oh my goodness, who's going to win? Who's going to be it? I don't know. What's going on? Ah, exciting. And then you hear a loud booming voice over the crowd. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, we will be boarding the ships to go down to the kingdom of Zifa for the elemental games. As you're seeing people kind of shuffle through, you see a child kind of sitting there, and he walks up to you. I want you to be the champion, and I want you to be the winner. Can you do that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
I want you to be the champion, and I want you to win because I want to be like you when I grow up. Can you do that?
We'll see. I may die in the field. It's honestly up to our skill as paladins and versus other individuals. I'll do my best, but I can guarantee nothing.
Well, you're big and strong, so I don't think that you would die. I don't think death can do anything to you. You're my hero. He hugs your leg, and then he runs towards the ship.
Your kid.
So as you're watching the rest of the people kind of crowd through, you'd start heading towards that direction. But you're seeing a couple people fly above you. Just one more time glancing at them, wings fully spread out as a single feather drops from one. And as it falls right in front of you, this pristine white feather, it immediately turns black. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Ohm, lightning strikes. The strong electrical surge piercing the land spreads out across, forming shades of purples and blues and whites coursing through the land as this energy travels through random ores that are seen on the mountainsides and throughout different crags and valleys. Amongst this lightning storm, we see people swinging with climbing gear from one part of the mountain to the other towards these sources of the ore that were just struck by lightning. As the storm is blowing, crazy winds and water, rain coming down from the sky in what would feel like a torrential storm. We see one lone individual swinging through, almost expertly, kind of gliding through the air, almost as if it's like a dance to him. As he swings around and lands on the side of the mountain as soon as a lightning bolt strikes this ore, the light shining from the ore illuminates his face, and it's Elijah. Amongst Elijah, there are a few others collecting this ore so they can bring it back into town for the refinery. While they're doing so, one man swings over towards where Elijah is and kind of struggles to climb up. You know, I've never understood how you make it seem so easy.
Well, when you've traveled like I have, these things just come natural.
You know, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It's weird. It's almost like you ride lightning itself. It kind of looks.
I'll have to try to do it sometime. Yes, can't be something so simple, right?
Right. Anyway, don't forget to take that ore in before you head out.
Yeah. And he takes out like a little pick and he picks it out of the mountainside.
As your pick connects with the ore in the mountainside, you start to see flecks of the electricity from the previous lightning bolt that went through it, kind of shooting through, and then almost creating a second lightning bolt on the inside from where the pick makes contact with it. And as you hold up the stone, you can see the energy still flowing through it. It feels almost natural to you, almost as if the lightning within inside of the ore is calling out to you specifically.
Elijah's kind of looking at it in his hand, seeing how it's catching in the light and how the lightning's kind of flowing in the different minerals. He's like, we don't need every ore we find.
Right as you say that, a woman climber is hanging upside down. She's like, actually we do. But it's really cute that you thought you could keep some of it.
He goes, listen, with all due respect, if I decided to keep it, you're not going to catch me. So I'll bring in double the haul. But this one, I just been doing this long enough. I can't take a memento.
She kind of looks you up and down. When's the last time you've been back home?
Not much to return to.
And she kind of just climbs back up. Like you said, bring back double the haul if you're going to take that one.
He sighs and goes, yeah. And then, like, under his breath, he's like, I'm not bringing back double the haul. And pockets the one that he's holding.
As you're finishing up with the haul that you do decide to bring back, you're going towards the base of the mountain where everyone set up camp initially before climbing up to the mountains. As you're going into this campsite, there's a few small fires scattered out, a couple little tents. You can see lanterns that were being lit inside the tents for people that are going in. Some of them are cleaning off the ore that you have. Some of them are going in, trying to make sure that they're the right size, cutting them down for easier transport. Some of them are kind of sitting there, exhausted from climbing through the mountains. Another group is getting ready to... Karama, thank you so much for the subs gifting.
I was like, ready to go what?
Sub. Go ahead and everyone that received that gift, make sure that you guys say your proper thank yous for that. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. I forgot that was the thing that happens during these streams. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back into the story. So as you're in this campsite, you're seeing all this go on. You're kind of in this weird state where some of these people seem familiar to you, but at the same time, some of them look completely new. For the ones that seem familiar, it's like it's on the tip of your tongue that you should know these people, but you just can't quite put your finger on it. You feel
It's the woman that... Yeah.
No, say what you're going to say.
Oh, is the woman that was hanging upside down, is she there?
Yes, you can see her.
And do I know her name?
Yes. Her name would be Zarya. So as you walk in, you see Zarya in the main tent, kind of looking at you.
Hey, Zarya, did we get a new crew that nobody told us about?
Elijah, I don't have time for these weird little games that you have going on. These are people you've been working with forever, basically. I mean, are you trying to feign some type of like amnesia so you can get out of the double haul that you were supposed to bring in, as she's kind of looking you up and down and seeing that it's not there?
Kind of like holding the sack, like kind of hidden. What? It's there. I already dropped off a bag. Listen, I don't know. Been doing this for a while, faces blend together, and I'm just finally taking a good look, I guess. My bad. I don't know. Just, one of those mystery things.
Yeah, whatever that means. As you say that, a lightning bolt strikes about 30 feet behind you guys, and as you turn to look at the lightning strike, everything goes dark for you. While you're standing in this darkness, there's no one else around for you, almost as if you've been transported to some different plane of existence. All you hear inside this darkness is, "It is almost time." And just as quickly as that, you're back. And Zarya is looking at you. I'm not paying you to stand here. I mean, realistically, I'm not paying you much.
You're barely paying me. Okay. I'm afraid to ask the obvious, but I'm going to guess you're also not hearing weird voices and having blackouts, right? That's just not a thing that you're going through, right? Right. Okay, thought so. I'm going to get some rest.
Okay, I guess. Don't forget, we ship out first thing in the morning. We're going to the Kingdom of Zifa.
I have zero interest in going back to these games.
Oh, it's okay. It's not like you'd be chosen to play anyway. Listen, we're using you for manual labor. And as soon as you do your job, you can go do whatever you want to.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm just a little bit,
Arrows VTuber, thank you so much for the 500 bits. I'll make a note of that so that for the start of the next episode, we'll roll for that. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
thank you. Yeah, obviously it's not much competition anyways. It's child's play. But yeah, sure. We'll just, bring our shiny rocks and keep it moving like we always do. Maybe they'll have some technological feat that we've never seen before. But yeah. Let me know when it's time to ship out.
Pride will be the death of you, young Elijah, as she turns away.
He smirks and goes to his resting area.
So as you get into your resting area, there's not much there spare for a small little pallet where you sleep at. One lantern inside of there, a couple torn pages from books that other people that have probably gone in, tossing things around, left out, and a tiny little creature balled up on top of your pillow. And as you look at this tiny little creature, it gets excited. Like, extremely excited. Almost as if it's like jumping, doing backflips, super just excited to see you for who you are. And it's like, oh my gosh, my owner here. This little mirror cat known by the name of Bungie that you would know, that's been your friend for years, gets excited and kind of does like a little spin around and like stands up on his little feet and just like, ah!
Hey Bungie, how's it going, buddy? Hey, look what I got. Something special. Oh, I take this ore out with the lightning bolt trapped in it.
As you pull this out, Bungie gets a little close to it, and as he's getting closer to it, the hairs on his body all start to stand up from the static electricity coming from it, and kind of like shakes himself out and looks at you and just says,
Yeah, maybe this one's not a chew toy. And he kind of puts it back away. That's weird. I'm not feeling that, but yeah, we'll keep you away from the sparky things.
outside of your tent, you can hear people, come on guys, we're almost done. Don't you drop that ore. Oh, I swear, the sooner these games are over, the better. That way I can go back to just not caring about these people on the mainland, people laughing and joking around with each other. What are you doing inside of the tent?
Packing.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of collecting my belongings, knowing that we're going to go on the ships and who knows how long we're going to be gone. Maybe it's a good opportunity to jump ship and check out a new land for a while. Since Elijah likes to travel.
Gotcha. As you're packing up the rest of your personal items, getting ready for this trip, the stone, that ore that you grabbed, falls out. And then as you reach to go up and pick it up, it goes black again. This time the voice seems a lot closer than it was outside. It is almost time. You know what you must do.
I'm gonna turn around like really quick and be like, yeah, no, don't know what I must do. First things first, give back my sight. Second, what you trying to get me to do? Like, let's at least talk about it first. Okay, I'm up for an adventure or two, but you gotta approach me better than this. Hello?
Someone peeps in through your tent as your vision comes back. You have this.
What? Hey, shut up. I can see.
You have this really weird habit of like talking to yourself out loud, and it's
Yes,
very
it's better than talking to half of y'all.
I guess. Whatever. Closes the tent.
Elijah's like visibly frustrated. He's like, okay, Bungie, I'm not imagining things. Some weird's going on.
He kind of just looks at you and turns his head
He's
sideways.
like, no, I don't know what to make of it. Okay, hey, why don't you come up with a solution for once? All right. Okay, I'm the provider here. Okay, I'll give you the food. You do the thinking. All right. And he lays down on his like his little camping roll. He's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired.
I think this is going to be a perfect time for us to take a break. A quick little breaky break. So while we let the players get some water, take a quick little moment to recollect themselves and everything, we have a really special thing going on for you guys. So we're going to show you this, and then we're going to head over to intermission. Check out this little promo.
Welcome to El Dorado Springs Sanatorium. Will you be checking in this evening? Dr. DeBook to Ward 11. Dr. DeBook to Ward 11. We hope you enjoy your stay.
We hope you enjoy your stay. We hope you enjoy your stay. We hope you enjoy your stay. We hope you enjoy your stay. We hope you enjoy your stay.
You're all going to die here.
Can you hear me? It's time for therapy. It's time for therapy.
The ring roll for trauma wasn't a blaring fucking sign.
Eddie, no! Eddie, stop!
That would be a critical failure.
What's going on, kiddos?
Hey, yo!
Fuck.
Yeah, it's actually the technical term. You rolled a stab a bit.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Fuck me.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to Therapy Time with Elijah. I haven't named it yet. Elijah's entourage. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But okay, I gotta take my headphones off because they're freaking out on me. Yeah, I'm too far away from the room. They're getting mad. Switch it. Switching it up. What's going on, folks? Welcome to Therapy with Elijah, your friendly neighborhood Sparky boy. So we're at the beginning of a brand new campaign. We've got a brand new DM who's doing a fantastic job. We've got a fantastic audience. I can see you guys all actively engaged. The players are involved. We just got the return of our 5th player. Welcome, by the way. Don't worry that stream can't hear you. So you can talk freely amongst the players. So for the new players who don't know, when we have our intermission, you guys are not on camera. This is an opportunity to use the restroom, grab a snack, drink some more water, grab some more water, juice, whatever your heart's content is. If you feel like inebriating yourself to some extent, now's the time to start, not at the beginning, because Lord knows. And of course, step away from the computer for a moment, because things can get hectic very fast. And judging by the way Deontay's leading things, I have a feeling that it will. In addition to that, we try to answer some questions that people might have over in the sidecar, and otherwise just kind of kick it. So let's stretch our legs, let's just do the damn thing. Could you make me some cold? Whew. It's weird not being in this chair. Also, we know the Discord notifications are going off. Apologies, trying to work on it, baby steps, folks, baby steps. Every time we start a new campaign and it's a new layout and it's like fiery and all that jazz, we gotta work out the kinks. But it's coming along nicely. It looks good. Yes, Elijah. That's exactly where that's from, Julie.
Rimming.
Yes, 100%. Been saying that for like the last month randomly. But
No, it was funny because I heard something. I was like,
I can hear them talking about the cat that came in the house.
I heard that. I was like, is it music?
So how's it going, chat? How y'all doing? Stone Bear Gaming, great to see you. Hanny Love, welcome. Also a player. Jilly for Trauma, good to see you. Future Monarch, always a pleasure. Lava for Monster? For Lonester? I know it says Monster. I know it's an M, but it's also like, IVI. Oh, stop it. Okay. My bad. Let's see who else we got in here. Arrows VTuber. Thank you again for the 500 bits. And Kamara, thank you for sending in that gifted sub. We appreciate the support. Next stream, we will be rolling the D20 for you guys. Obviously, with the first stream, we want to make sure that just the stream works before we start doing all the fun little add-ons that we have planned for you. And there's a lot planned for you. I'm realizing now why Deontay looks like he's staring at a fly. It's because the camera is not in the center of the screen. Yeah, because you're looking up here the entire time, and I'm like, Deontay, what are you looking at? But it's all good. Hang on, I got to mute real quick.
Damn. Anyways, hi. Mystery was right and I was wrong.
What do you mean?
Eddie. Eddie was right.
You can call him Mystery.
Well, he said on stream I can call him Eddie.
Yeah, but you can also just if it's easier. They know.
Love the wig.
Also, we can be heard.
We can be heard.
Should be able to.
Okay.
Shoo-wop, dee-doo. Yes, you have, Jilly. I have a lot of aliases, nicknames, and personas that all mean the exact same thing. It's just kind of where you know me from. You may call me something different. But it's all some version of Eddie. Or some version of Eddie Rose. When I DJ schools, high schools, elementary schools, junior highs, I'm often DJ Rose. When I DJ at bars and weddings, I'm DJ Eddie. Here, Eddie Rose. Sometimes I'm Mr. E. Sometimes I'm just Eddie. I don't know. There's really not a lot to do for therapy this session because nothing's happened yet. You know, we just started. So it'll be interesting to see how things devolve. You know, what climactic moments we have to talk on. But I got to give a shout out to Rome. You have, what's the word I'm looking for? You have captured that feeling of being a paladin. Listening to your character talk and stuff, you definitely have that. I've separated myself from normal civilization. I am a paladin. I am a holy knight. I'm up here, but also
I am
not like you're calling them
righteous, like-
peasants. Yeah, like you, right in the middle. Job well done.
Thank you.
Very proud. I'm so excited for all these
Next.
personalities to hit each other.
Applause. Oh, I'm scared. I gotta see how this is gonna be. Ooh.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be an adventure.
Shiny and Narina are gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna be at. She better not be this campaign.
Gotta have my popcorn. But I'll be taking this back in just a moment. Oh, okay. I was like, Trippy Thistle. I know a Trippy Thistle, and I know a Future Monarch, and they're the same person. But I just read it. You changed your account.
Oh.
You switched accounts. Okay. Life makes more sense. Oh, thank you. Water.
How's the popcorn?
Smooth. Popcorn's good.
You sure?
Trying to kill me. Okay. There we go. Are we all back? Everyone except me. All right, folks. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your therapy time. Once again, my name is Eddie, aka Elijah, and I will see you on the next therapy episode. I'm gonna pass it back to boy. Wow. One job.
I know. 0.
Boom.
Sure, don't flash everybody in the process. No.
It's not like I can see you anyway.
Take what your mama gave you.
Screaming, crying, hollering.
Funny, because she did give it to me.
Oh.
No more lollipops.
Yeah, nope, no more lollipops. Sorry, guys.
Dang.
I'll be giving you something different when we get there.
I'm concerned. All right. Is everybody ready?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and we are
I think so.
going back. Boom. In the kingdom of Lavar, it's hot. It's so hot. Between the pools of lava that you see all around, flames shooting up at random locations, and just the eminent heat that kind of sits there existing, it's hot. The best way we can say it. But not just because of the temperature itself. The people here are fueled up. They're fired up. They're amped, excited for the game. So much so that while they're prepping for their departure to get to the games, they're also having random mock battles with each other in various parts of the town. People are being thrown through windows and doors and taverns, and children are wrestling in pits of mud right next to lava, which is extremely dangerous, but when you live in the Kingdom of Lavar, this is normal for you. And while all of this is going on, between the cheers and fights that are going on, all friendly, all very warm-hearted and competitive, we see the king and the queen standing above, just looking at everyone. This just seems so lively, like it always does. Oh, my darling, it's always lively here. But you know, can you blame them? We're getting ready for the games. Everyone's excited. Isn't that right? And as they turn around, they directly speak to Princess Inez. Are you excited for the games, sweetheart?
Definitely. How could I not be? It's the best time of the season.
Now, you do know that as princess, you have to uphold your duties and make sure that you represent the name properly. So, no going off into random battles, no starting tussles and all types of manners of debauchery, if you will. Oh, honey, let her live. It's okay. She'll be fine. She's a princess. She knows how to properly act. Isn't that right?
Yes. After everything that you've taught me, I know better.
That's what we like to hear. Now, go along. Go do your princessly duties and speak to the people before we depart. And your parents kind of go off into the castle as they're prepping to get ready to leave. And as you see them walking out of the doors, you see somebody slink into the room. This person would be someone that you know, Luca. As a princess, you have to make sure that you do all of your duties and take care of all the blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, don't you get sick of that?
I do, but what am I supposed to do? Tell them to not talk to me? I'd rather not.
I mean, you are still a person at the end of the day, so you could tell them to talk to you nicely. You can also tell them that we have a water check. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you drink your water.
I'll be back.
So as Luca's walking with you, you guys go out of the main chamber, and when you go into the center of town... Oh, she said she'd be back. I'm like, she's getting her water. It's okay. It's okay.
Get your water later, Hanny.
Jeez Louise.
Dang water checks. Ooh, we upped the price on those.
Sorry, I had to make sure you guys are being hydrated during all of this. As you're walking out into the town center, it's an all-out brawl. You see a combination of blood, sweat, tears, random embers of fire flying all over the place. People being body slammed through tables and barrels, and people throwing right hooks, left hooks, uppercuts, sword fights, axe fights, spear fights, all types of fighting going on. And the second that everyone turns and sees you, they, oh, it's Princess Ines, and they all kind of bow. Princess, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
It's just kind of like Ines just kind of like waves to everyone and looks around about and who sees to see who's there, and then just kind of walks on.
As Luca's slowly trailing behind her. She's gone. You can all do what you need to at this point. And as soon as he says that and tails behind you, everyone goes right back to fighting. So, Princess, you think they'll choose me to be the champion this year, or do you think your odds are better than mine? I mean, granted, I don't think that your parents would even allow you to get involved in the games besides to sit there as the figurehead and just wave, which I hope you've been practicing your princess wave.
Oh, ha ha, how funny. And we both know I'm the stronger one here. Plus, they won't find out if it's under a different name.
So you do plan on trying to go into the games. I wouldn't expect any less from you. And he kind of like grabs both of your hands and like looks into your eyes. Listen, just if you're gonna do this, be smart, be careful, and please make sure you win, because if you don't, I'll never let you live this down. And then kind of starts laughing.
Ines will kind of put her hand over her mouth and giggle slightly. You know that I will always find a way to go into combat.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate part, is that I do know, and there's nothing I can really do to stop you. But I'll be rooting for you. And as he says that, he kind of trails off holding one hand before he completely lets go and disappears into the crowd as some giant man picks him up and tosses him 30 yards away. As you're looking at this whole spectacle going on, you can see people going towards the docks. Well, not the docks, the giant land bridge that connects Lavar to the Kingdom of Zifa. And you can see people loading up carts and getting wagons ready for the journey over to the mainland. And there's an older woman that kind of speaks up at you. Oh, hi, Princess Ines. It's a pleasure to see you out here amongst us, and I do hope that the day's treating you well, and sorry, I just never really get to speak to you like this, and it's really nice to see someone who's just as incredible as you're. Oh my gosh, here I go, embarrassing myself again. My mom told me be normal, make friends, and for some reason it's just, I don't know, I get nervous around. She starts like hyperventilating.
Ines kind of just like fanboying, tries to calm me down, and then asks her name.
Okay. Yeah, well, the reason why I, wanted to say hi to you is because, I was thinking about trying to put my name in to go as one of the champions, and I wasn't sure if I could do it, but I'm a really good fighter, and I just wanted to see if you had any like words of wisdom or advice for someone who's not too sure if they can do it.
Think logical, not technical. And have confidence.
As she kind of starts to calm down, you can see some like steam rolling off of her body because she was breaking into a nervous sweat. and kind of just starts to relax slowly and yeah, you know that. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. She gets into her wagon and kind of starts to take off. At this point,
Ines kind of waves her off, like.
At this point, you're all making your way to the town. As we check in with Narina first, as the ships are traveling over, you're getting a glance back at your kingdom, and you can see that the waters are, though normally blue, some areas are kind of dark purple, some like bright neon green, as you can see how different toxins and sludge and pollution have been going through your lands and stuff. And you kind of just watch this as it's slowly fading into the distance as you're going towards the mainland. While on the ship, you can see a couple people that are slowly preparing themselves for the battle that's ahead, hoping that they're going to be the ones that are chosen for the games this year. And is there anything that you want to do while you're taking this boat ride?
Yeah, she's I'm looking over the waters just like with absolute disgust and thinking about how awful it is that it's just getting worse and worse, and she's kind of like in her head about it. And she's gonna pull out the scroll that she stole from the library. Specifically, she was hoping that she would get something on this mainland where she's going, and just kind of like read about that.
As you're looking at this scroll and kind of reading over it, you see almost like a glowing sigil in the shape of a giant manta ray in the bottom corner. And then just as quickly as you notice it, it disappears.
She's gonna like rub the scroll with her finger. What is that?
As we cut over to Shiny and Cleo, you guys are in a wagon going across this giant land bridge towards the mainland. There's tons of people just still celebrating, music being played, kids running around inside the different carts. You see people throwing out different like arrays of flower petals and colorful powder outside of the carts as they're going towards, treating this like a giant celebration. And Chloe looks at you and says, "No matter what happens, just make sure you cheer me on the most, because you and I both know I'm going to be the chosen champion." Just saying.
That's what you think, girl. Listen, you can keep talking all that smack. I'm gonna win. You're gonna bow down to me.
Whatever you say. And as she kind of turns away from you, you see this glowing green sigil on the back of her back. It's in the form of what you would know as like a lemur of sorts. And as you would reach for it to kind of touch it and see what's going on, it disappears.
Dude, did you get some of the like luminescent flowers and like put them on your clothes earlier?
I know my outfit's really nice, but you can't borrow this top, okay?
Well, that's not. There was something on your back, but it like faded.
Trying to psych me out before
do
the
a new
games.
design? I mean, it looked kind of cool. Like, you didn't do that though?
I have no idea what you're talking about, weirdo, and then kind of just laughs it off. Rome, as you're boarding this ship that's going to depart from the floating islands down to the mainland, you have a couple people walking by you. "Oh, best of luck. Best of luck. Best of luck." And then people, "Oh, but I think that Cade's going to totally win." Kind of look at you embarrassedly while they're saying it. As they're saying this, Cade walks by you and places a hand on your shoulder pauldron. "To my dearest rival, have fun watching me from the sidelines." And then goes on to the ship. while you're
I guess I would respond with best of luck to you too, and see who comes out on top.
As you're saying this, you see that little kid come by you again, and while he's walking by, he bumps into you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Big Hero Man. And then as he's like scrambling to pick up his toy that he drops, you see on his toy there this glowing yellow outline of an owl. And as he's reaching for it, the second he picks it up, it disappears.
What kind of magic is this? Maybe that old man saying does ring true. Maybe there is something strange going on this festival.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. And then walks back onto the ship. As we cut over to Elijah, the lightning bolts seem to be a little bit more aggressive this time as people are loading up on the boats, getting ready to head over to the mainland. Striking between the land and the water. Just
the one in the sky, not the one in the rock.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Almost as if the lightning from the sky itself is ushering a grand bon voyage for you guys as you're getting ready to head towards the mainland. While you're sitting there waiting for the boat to depart, you can feel the energy inside of your oar radiating inside of your pocket. And as you pick that up, as you grab this, you see the form of what would be a purple dragon inside of this oar. And then it goes black. And this time, even more clear than the last time. Elijah, it is almost time. You know what you must do.
I'm gonna stop walking and do I have Bungie with me?
Yes.
Okay, so can I put him can he be on my shoulder?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, so I'm just gonna look to Bungie and be like, hey, I know this may sound crazy, okay? Not all my ideas make sense, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to eat a rock. And I don't want you to judge me when it happens, but at this point, there's definitely something inside of that aura I showed you the other day.
And he just nips at your ear while you're telling him this.
He goes, all right, I'm sorry. Come on, let's go.
As we cut back to Inez riding in the royal chariot, or the royal wagon chariot, royalty wheels, if you will. She sees the different townsfolk that are in different carriages and on foot walking across this land bridge towards Zifa. And her parents are going on and on about, oh, well, we have to make sure that we uphold the customs and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to. We're representing the whole kingdom of Lavar, and we have to make sure that blah, blah, blah. And as it starts to fade into just background noise on one of the carts that's driving beside you, as you're looking out the window, you see this glowing red sigil of a giant ape flowing on this flag on the side of one of the carts. As you would lean in a little bit closer to try and get a better look at it, it disappears. Inez, are you listening to us at all?
Sorry, Mother. I thought I just saw something. I'm not quite sure.
The only thing that we see is a beautiful games and us representing cordially whoever our champion may be. I pray nothing but blessings upon them to bring us the victory that we so desperately deserve.
Of course, Mother. Inez will kind of just take a second look out of the window.
Flag completely
and then look
bare.
And then look back at her dad and be like, Father, why don't you participate in the games anymore?
And yes, it's well past my time. I might still be a great fighter, but I'm no longer in the same prime that I was back then. I won many a games, of course, and that's where I met your mother. And she starts blushing. And then he starts going in on this like long story on how he started having all his competitions and all the fights he had before the games, and nobody wants to hear that. As all of the carriages and ships are making it towards the center of town, or to the center island, towards Zifa, you guys can hear music blaring, all types of creature alike flying around with streamers and throwing around all types of different decorations, shopkeepers with all their wares out, sporting all types of different things to sell for people to support their kingdoms and support their element, basically. You have food stalls just brimming with all types of different foods, kids running around with all types of different sorts of like candies and small dessert treats, dancing in the square. And then a giant booming voice, almost as if completely magical, projecting throughout the entire island. It is with great honor that we do start the elemental games. Ladies and gentlemen of all, please make your way to the Colosseum. And you see crowds just going in towards the location. Narina would be the first to arrive, and as she does, one of the guards from the kingdom. Ah, yes. I see we have the Kingdom of Oshia gracing us with their presence. Always a pleasure to see you all. Any knowledge you can spread to us lowly land livers?
Well, if you're looking for random statistics and facts, there's always libraries you can look up. We're not just walking piles of knowledge.
Right. Step through this way as he leads you guys over into an area where there will be you and 4 other individuals from your kingdom, some that you know, some that you're not too familiar with, and they escort you all into a waiting area. As it cuts over to Shiny and Chloe, they go in. Ah, yes. Ha 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 ha. It's so nice to see you all coming back. Great kingdom of Navrich. I wonder, are all of the wonderful foods that we were able to prepare this year for the games thanks to all of your cultivation?
I believe so. I know we've done quite a bit of work to bring everybody what they need to be able to be strong and healthy while they fight.
Hey, Shiny. As Chloe nudges you, he's being sarcastic.
Oh, why would you do that? That's not very nice.
Please step this way as he ushers you guys in. She kind of just looks at you. Listen, I don't want to have to fight every single person that we have around us, okay? So, be a little bit on the up and up. Yeah, I'm sure you can, but if you're just letting it glaze over you, forget it. Don't even worry about it.
What if we didn't have to fight them?
She punches you in the arm, then kind of walks forward.
Yeah. My head? She kicks her and she walks behind her.
So we cut over to Rome. He gets off the ship, and they say, "Oh, the magic dwellers of Ceruli. How nice. Fantastic. Remember, these are games, not a giant party. So I'd appreciate if some of you take this a little bit serious," as he looks at Cade and at Rome. Like these two, for example. Probably your best representation I've seen in a while. But remember, these are the games. Kind of looks you up and down. Act accordingly.
Sort of grunt at him and just walk about my way.
Cade, right as you're starting to walk, puts his arm in front of you. Ah! The champion should go first as he walks in front of you.
Just give him this sharp look. What if we don't win? What if I take the win? What if someone else takes the win? I don't say this, I'm just sort of thinking it. Never know.
As we cut over to Elijah, They let them off, and you have the guard donned in a full suit of rubber. It's very nice to see that the Kingdom of Ohm has sent champions this year. Yet again. God, I hate that I'm always stuck with them. And as he's saying this, the hairs on top of his head are starting to stand up due to the static electricity just radiating off of you guys because you're used to being around it. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't too worried about my hair today.
Elijah looks to Cesara and goes, seriously? The Rubber Boys? There are much better things that we could be doing with our time than sitting in a coliseum amongst people.
We're here for work. Act like it.
Okay, well, point me in that direction then.
My apologies for my insubordinate. He's very insubordinate. No worries. Walk right this way, and as Zara walks by first,
He's gonna hold her hand up and go, put it there, buddy. Like,
and he does it, and instantly just starts, and then passes out. Zara turns back and looks at you.
What? Just greeting them with customs, right? Okay, whatever. Let's go.
As you walk by her, she flicks the back of your ear. Behave yourself, damn it.
Bungie, later on, you can totally eat that thing. Okay.
Just shakes his head in agreement. As we cut over to Inez, and she is getting out of the royal cart, we see a red carpet rolled out. Ah, yes! The people of Lavar. It's so nice to see the royalty grace us with their presence this year, and I take it whatever champion you guys have will be as fiery and feisty as the land you come from. As your mom and dad come out of the cart, they're like, oh, but of course, this is something that we do. We always provide the best fighters. Your dad goes, yeah, it's the reason why we're known as one of the most adept countries when it comes to fighting. No one's ever really bested us. And then the attendant that's there is like, except for all the years where you guys didn't win, but that's none of my business. The dad's like, what was that? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh, Princess Inez, it's a pleasure to see you as well.
Nice to meet you as well.
We have
Thank
a question.
you for letting us join.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
just gonna ask if we can see if Elijah's already inside, or if they can see other people arriving.
Not yet. You're about to, though.
Okay.
So, as we are all ushered into this waiting area, an attendant, fully clad in armor, with 5 different colors, one color representing each of the elements, stands above you all inside of this podium. There's about 25 to 30 of you all inside of this waiting area. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the contestants for the games. It's a very, as he kind of scans over the entire crowd, this man with his very full beard with specks of white in it, almost as if age tried to take him but didn't grasp onto him as fully as he wanted to. It's an interesting group you've got here. Let me tell you how this goes. Each of the kingdoms has submitted candidates, some of you by choice, or rather by volunteer, others kind of just here. We will go ahead and pick those for the games. Now keep in mind, when the champion is chosen, you're representing your entire kingdom. Try not to completely disrespect your homeland by being bad. Then again, I don't really care, so it's fine. From the kingdom of Lavar, as he's rummaging through, there's this tiny little man that comes by with a bucket that's half his size, and he's like lumbering it in, and he puts it down. I didn't tell you to put it down. And he picks it back up, and he's like struggling to hold it, and it's like shaking. He's like, can you please be still? And he like steals himself, and this little man, he kind of like looks out to the crowd while they're going through, looking through the names. You guys can all see each other inside of the room. Each of you in one section of the kingdoms being separated, but you all have clear view of everybody that's inside of the room. Are there any interactions anyone wants to have?
Shiny is bouncing from paw to paw on her back paws, trying to see. She's very small. She's 3 feet tall, guys. She's trying to see, and she's very excited.
As
So we're all in the same, we're all in the same room? Oh, I'm checking with the DM. We're all in the same room?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead, Inez.
Inez just kind of prepares her swords and her stuff, ready for battle. Make sure everything's in check.
I survey the room just to take a general look at everyone, see what I'm up against.
Narina is completely immersed in her scroll. She's not looking at anybody. Doesn't care about them at all.
I'm gonna roll a perception check to find the most nervous, effeminate creature in the room.
Go ahead.
I got a 12.
So you find this very thin and frail little guy, just completely at his wit's end, concerned about what's going on in this situation. He's shaking. You can hear everything in his bag shaking as he's standing there just waiting, crossing his fingers. You hear him murmuring to himself, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, I don't want to do this, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this.
Hey,
and he looks up and he's like,
hey, okay, slow down. Let's take a deep breath, all right? Come on, you and me. Okay, okay. The worst thing that could possibly happen is you die.
Can I release? Can I let go? I'm holding still.
You gotta exhale. That's the next step. I'm sorry. Take a deep breath, then give it back. Okay, look, you're not gonna die. Okay, it's just the games. Okay? You'll be fine. Right? Don't worry about it. Plus, like, the rewards at the end, it's worth it. Okay, free drinks for like the next year, money. Okay, it's worth it. So even if you stay in the background, you'll be totally fine. Okay, just stay out of the shadows because I hear meerkats like to hunt in the shadows. So just don't do that, and everything will be good. Okay.
How close am I to this interaction?
You're about 5 feet away from it. Wait.
And I hear it though.
Roll for. What'd that be? Perception?
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll for perception.
You know what? That's a 22.
Damn. So you heard the entire thing. So much so that in the process of this conversation, when he tells him just don't go into the shadows because meerkats like to hide there, he freaks out a little bit and backs into you. He's like,
holy shit, there's one right now.
And then just like faints.
Oh, what you've done? It wasn't very nice.
What? He won't be chosen. Problem solved.
You made it big.
Well, less to worry about.
Look at him. He's so little.
In
Didn't
the
make him
Better than
panic.
him. That's not very nice.
In the process of the scream, he screamed pretty loud, so it would have stopped you from what you were reading, Narina. And you look up and just see this tiny body fall, followed by this guy and what would appear to be a domesticated rodent on his shoulder and a small cat woman.
She's gonna like look at these two and like make direct eye contact with Elijah and just like look him up and down and go back to her scroll.
He's like, what? Are my nipples up? They are out. What? He's like, oh.
Shiny is fully just chastising him for being mean to this poor little guy.
Elijah just pats your head and goes, all right, kid, calm down. You can get an autograph later. All right.
Rome,
You
you
there?
can kind of sense a lot of this going on. You're about 10 feet away, but you can kind of feel just chaos centered in this one little area.
I walk up to the small little guy and just go leave.
And as he's coming back to, he's and kind of like crawls into the background, and then he crawls into the back of the room where it's darker and no one else can see him, followed by a deathly like loud scream because he's like, shadows, America, and then you just hear him hit the floor
Alaga's gonna
again.
look at Rome and go, "Yeah, see, you get it. Like, if you're not cut out for it, just don't even be here, right? It's not that complicated."
I mean,
I wasn't being mean. If I was being mean, I would have explained to him that I would have gone after him first and used his body as a meat shield. I didn't tell him that part.
My gosh, some of us are trying to pay attention here, and she's gonna go back to her scroll.
doesn't seem like paying attention though.
Does it cost a lot? I just want to know because like all
I'm
you're doing
awfully
is reading. Yeah.
She's gonna look at Rome. Are these idiots with you?
No.
Oh.
See an idiot.
They were your
So
That's
you
very nice
both
to call him
consider
names.
it.
I know he wasn't nice to that other little guy, but that's not very nice.
I want to state for the record, I was not mean to him. I was giving sound advice on not to die by a meerkat.
Why on this entire continent do you have a meerkat? They're not native to this region.
Randomly, someone in the background says, "Is there a random meerkat sitting back here?" As they see this boy just pass out, foaming at the mouth.
Oh no, Bungie, hide! And I'm gonna open my satchel and like Bungie's just gonna dive into it. It's
I
weird.
hope you
Yeah.
have proper vaccinations for that thing.
Okay.
Cute little
Okay.
fella you got there.
Hey, you lot. As the guy, the knight up top is saying, "We're getting ready to start picking names. Go back to your respective areas, and please don't cause any trouble before the games actually start."
Excuse me, Mr. Wannabe Scary Guy. I'm just supposed to be here working. I'm not supposed to be with this lot to
You will
begin
be
with.
dismissed when you are dismissed. If you are not the chosen champion, you can go and do whatever you're supposed to do at that point. Until then, silence. Like I was saying, yes.
Does Inez see or hear any of this? Is she even there? Like,
Inez is in the front of everything because as the princess, they're gonna kind of have her
Okay.
up front, so she's kind of watching everything happening.
Okay.
From the kingdom of Navrich, as he's going through the giant container, which during this whole 5-minute interaction you guys had with meerkat maulings and whatnot, the little guy is still holding this giant tub and he's like shaking at this point. He's like, the guy shoots him a look and he just stiffens up. And as he's digging his head inside, Chloe kind of holds your paw. Wish me luck.
No, wish me luck.
They're not gonna pick you. Just wish me luck already.
You said to be quiet.
The champion of Navrich for this year's game shall be Shiny Shekel. And Chloe's face just drops. Just
Hold yourself. And then she just like makes her way up.
excuse me. That's Small Fry right there. Can we see for sure if it's actually her? I don't think anyone would ever actually like willingly pick her, right? No offense, bestie, but like when it comes to like, you know, a champion, you would think that they'd pick someone that's actually.
Hey, listen, Stray. Okay, meerkats can fight, and this one can fight and talk. So why don't you just step back? You didn't get chosen.
I don't know what's worse, the smell coming off of you or that attitude.
Do you want to know what fried cat smells like?
Confront that way. It's just my suggestion. You don't have to listen to me.
Shiny Shekel, please make your way up to the podium. Yay! Mr. Lunchables, thank you so much for following. From the kingdom of Ceruli. And as he's digging through the giant container that holds all the names, Cade walks up. It's totally fine. I know I don't have to worry about you choosing. I'm already here. Rome the Relentless. I'm sorry.
I'm shoot Tatum. And then move my way up to the podium.
There's gotta be some type of misunderstanding. There's no way you guys would pick this.
Elijah's gonna look down to Shiny and go, I'm actually voting for that guy.
He seems interesting. I'm gonna be honest.
There just has to be some misunderstanding. He's like completely losing it at this point. Like he's dropping to his knees, like freaking out, hyperventilating. Some of the people around him are like trying to like calm him down. No, don't touch me. Recount. I want to recount. There's no way that you guys picked him over me.
Do you need to do a grounding exercise? We can do that with you. It's okay. You just count in on the 4, and you hold your breath for 4.
Silence.
Breathe out for 4.
You oversized house pet. I will not take this talk from you. And he looks at Rome.
Trying to be helpful.
Count yourself lucky. Maybe the odds were in your favor, but there's no way you're a better champion than I am. And as he says that, he gets up and kind of storms off.
I'll let him do his thing and then wait for, I guess, the next champion.
From the kingdom of Oshia. You can hear some people getting like a little excited. They're like, "Ooh, it's gonna be me! It's gonna be me! It's gonna be me!" Narina. And everyone kind of looks, huh? You mean to tell me you guys chose a bookworm for the champion this year?
Yo, paper cuts are deadly. Chill.
Yes, I respectfully decline. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it seems that nobody else actually entered from your kingdom, and you were the only name, so...
I respectfully apologize. I never entered.
Oh, no, it's okay. It was by recommendation. Surprisingly, the academy that you spent so much time in sees you as a fit fighter. Go figure.
No.
Nope.
Seeing that there's no other name that's recommended, and as you turn to look and see for anybody else that was in the room with you, they're all gone. You were the only representative, so...
Damn, evaporated. Crazy.
Man.
Did
this weird, huh?
Well, I'm sure there is countless paperwork on this, and we will discuss this further.
Oh no, it's totally fine. You're already registered. Step on up here. And as one of the attendants comes up, pushes you up. From the kingdom of Lavar. And this little guy is like shaking, like he is trembling at this time. And he's just, and the guy looks at him, it would be wise of you to steel yourself. And he kind of like, are we almost done? Silence.
That guy, I hope it's that guy. I hope it's that guy.
As he pulls out a name. Interesting. And as Inez's parents are standing in the audience, oh, I do hope it's that strapping Chad, or oh, maybe Darren. He was a really good candidate as well. Princess Inez Wright.
No.
What?
Yes. And Inez just kind of stands up like she's meant to there and walks right on.
There has to be some type of mistake. There's no way that she could have done that. My darling daughter, she would never.
As Inez is walking by, Elijah under his breath is just going to go, oh, and now it's political.
Shiny leans over to the nearest person and goes, I didn't know they let royalty play.
Her dad's kind of just watching as she's walking up and grabs his wife's hand and says, I mean, we didn't train her for nothing, but all we can do is cheer our daughter on and know that she'll do us proud. And the queen is still just, there's no way, it can't be real. We have to do a recount. And the knight says, I mean, it's clearly here. It even says who recommended her, and it shows recommended by the king. And she turns and just glares at your father, and he's like, I don't know, and kind of gives you a wink. He's like, she storms off into the viewing area in the Coliseum where the royalty would stand. He goes behind her. As he's walking out, he kind of, you got this, honey. I believe in you. And then walks out. And finally,
Ina kind of just raises her hand and goes, I accept.
A first time for everything, I see. And now, finally, from the kingdom of Ohm, and the little guy is going through it. His timbers are being shivered. His legs completely weak. It's at the point where if he even blinks wrong, it's going to happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last champion, meaning that we will have our 5 for this year's games. And as he's saying this, still shaking more aggressively, and he turns and looks at him. You guys will be the representatives of your respective kingdoms, and can you please stop shaking for the love of God? And then he just passes out, falls over, and the bucket falls, and all the papers that would have been in there fall out. Oh, great. Here we go. Go ahead and execute this one. Wait, what? As they take him and drag him off into some darker end of the Coliseum. Bring in a new one. And they bring in a new guy. And the new guy comes in and gathers up all the papers, puts it back in the bucket, and goes and stands up. This one's significantly taller, so this bucket's like maybe like a third of what his height would be, so he's not going to struggle as much. And he kind of stands there and kind of just, He's like, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what it means to truly represent your kingdom. Doing your job diligently, with total pride and mastery of what you're supposed to do. Looks like some people wouldn't learn quickly enough. It's okay. It'll be fine. He's not going to be a problem anymore. And you hear people saying, like in the crowd, they're like, oh my God, they're going to totally kill that guy. That guy's going to totally die. What happened to that guy in the background with the mirror cat bites?
He's okay.
Anyway, back to the final candidate. For the Kingdom of Ohm, and as he's reaching his hand into the bucket, Elijah, everything goes black. And you hear this voice. You shall be the champion. You shall be the one to save us.
Oh. Something bigger than this tournament?
As you say that, Shiny and Rome are kind of just watching you have this conversation to yourself.
Hey, what's up? I'm Elijah and I talk to myself. Leave me alone.
As they pull out the final name. Zara. And as she goes up, she kind of looks at you and then goes, yeah, I'm not going to do it. You choose to not represent your kingdom. Nope. I am here on work business specifically. So
Elijah takes a step back behind her and goes, yep, and I'm just an assistant.
Which is so funny that he says that, because he's going to assist me in defending our kingdom's honor and title for this year's games. I nominate Elijah. Anyone from my kingdom? Everyone in my kingdom that like agrees? No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So everyone in my kingdom that votes, we send Elijah in. Say aye, and everybody aye. Even people that aren't even in your kingdom are like aye.
Aye.
Elijah's face gets like real serious for a second. He takes off his satchel and hands it to Zyra, and he goes, if something happens to Bungie, I'm killing all of you. Then he smiles and he kind of waves and goes, all right, well, this will be fun.
As she kind of like gives you a nod and like walks towards the city where she would start doing her work, she kind of looks in the bag. She's like, oh, Bungie. You know, I always think he's talking about climbing gear, and kind of like, you okay in there? And all you see is the bag kind of like shake, and it's like, I'm assuming he's good, and then kind of walks off.
Elijah's kind of like puts his hands in his pockets as he's walking up to the podium. In his left hand, he's kind of clutching the crystal, trying to figure out what these proverbial messages are.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your 5 selected champions for the Elemental Games. And people in the crowd, woo, yeah, that's great. Let's go, LeVar. Come on,
Elijah's next to Inez, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna lean over and he goes, this is just how they kill us all off, right?
Think about it, princess. Would that usually be like an uprising?
No. Just me honoring my kingdom.
By dying, yeah.
If my death be it, so be it.
Oh wow, I didn't. Okay.
Can I keep the horns?
Death embraces everyone.
Narina just like rolls her eyes and like is just kind of looking around for anyone who's like legit in charge here.
Shiny like picks her claws and goes, "Oh, I didn't know royalty was less smart than me somehow. It's fine."
Like, Shiny, listen, I'm gonna let you in on a little tiny secret. Royalty doesn't equal smart.
That's fair. My hopes, but
Yeah, it's fair. What about you, Win Boy? What's your name? He's looking to Rome.
Oh, me?
Yeah, he's looking at Rome. My bad.
How would you know I command the power of wind?
Lightning. I understand currents. I deal with mountains, and you've just got quite a flow about you. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I can depict each person. Princess is fire because they always show up in style. Shiny Shekel's probably earth because they are the most creature-like creatures that happen to be sentient. Bookworm. And that leaves wind because I'm lightning.
That's one hell of a guess.
He's got
least
attitude
I'm
and
grounded.
the power of deduction.
I have a question. So just because I don't have that part of the lore, are I already lost your damn name. Are Narina's people like naturally just like a little wet all the time from being around all the water all the time? No, this is a legitimate question. I have to know. No, okay. Checking.
This is the first break of the DM. Oh, this is great. We'd say to an extent. Like, they're not going to be, like, drenched, but you can tell that they live in and near water. Damn.
All moist.
No.
My goodness.
So Shiny is gonna keep like just a little distant from Narina, but that's okay.
The rest of you go about. The games will be starting within an hour. For the 5 champions, come with me. And as he leads you guys through this hallway into the prepping quarters, basically. The games consist of various challenges. We usually try to recommend not killing each other, but I mean, if you're going to do so to, stack your odds, then do as you will, I guess. Just remember there's children in the audience, so don't get too gruesome. Then again, these kids know what they're getting themselves into. I remember last year, and he just cuts to this random flashback of him like watching in the audience as like people are being exploded and like kids are like, yeah, being like rained in blood. And it's like he comes back
Blood
to and
raises
he's just
his
like,
hand?
yes.
Do we need to sign a waiver or something? If we're going to unintentionally or otherwise inflict harm on royalty?
Yes, I would also agree with the zappy man over there. I'm going to need to see all proper documentation.
I mean,
He's gonna read mine too.
Dad sign her up? Like, that seems like an offering to me. Do you guys not volunteer in your kingdoms?
I'm not interested in being a champion and then sent to jail because the Firefly ends up dying.
Okay, to answer questions. Yes, we have those, and I'm handing out those forms. Yes, here's all the paperwork as I roll out a giant scroll for you, and it like goes from one end of the room to the other. I know you guys like all your details, so I made sure I got all of the details. It's a mixture of volunteering or recommendation. It's kind of something that happens. Is this your first games that you guys have ever seen or been involved with?
Of course not.
I just thought everyone was excited to be in the games. Like, we are.
Involved.
Narina is going to immediately step over the scroll that he has unrolled and just start reading all of the details.
Listen, Kitty. Some of us want glory in a coliseum, and others understand that life is precious, and there are much better ways to help people than to celebrate cultural differences, fight to the near death.
I mean, quite a lot of time helping people, but it's all right. This is just a good time.
Yeah,
And what would be,
it's gonna be a great time.
a game
We'll be
without a
hurting
few entrails?
With that being said, I'm going to step away. I will come back for you when it is time to officially start the games. Do what you wish. And then kind of just walks out. And as he leads you guys inside of this room, it's almost as if they repurposed an old like meeting room where you have stone arches and lanterns hanging from the ceiling. There's a giant round wooden disc in the center of the room that looks like it's clearly mechanical with something underneath it that would cause it to like lift up and down of some sort of like platform, and 5 sectioned off areas, each with, you know, a color or your kingdom's insignia kind of representing where you would like do your prep work at. Any conversations that you want to have with each other before we start this thing?
Is there like a corner away from view of the other champions that Elijah could go to?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna go to that corner.
Do any of you want to read this?
I'm not really one for books, but if you wanted to give me a summary, I'd be fine with that. I do like stories.
Well,
Maybe
I
tell us
already know
this-
most of it.
Oh, while I'm around the corner, I'm going to take the crystal out and go, all right, no more prank calls. And I'm going to use Storm's Wrath and channel lightning into it.
You do
Does anything
that.
happen?
Absolutely nothing happens besides you just having a glowing ore in your hand and the corner that you're in being illuminated. And then it just fades
great.
out
So-
just as quickly.
It's a glow stick. And he puts it back in his pocket and goes back to the others. All right, Bookworm. What's the scroll say?
I don't know. What does this girl say?
Oh, it entails all the details of the games being broken up into 3 separate challenges. One of endurance, one of strength, one of technicality, basically. Kind of almost like the... I don't even want to say that because I don't reference that. Because we'll get back to that later on. It says how there's point systems for the games, and if anybody were to die during the situation, they signed waivers already. Insert waiver forms here. And how one champion comes out at the end. There's no minor prizes, only one winner. There's no second, third, fourth, fifth place. It's one takes all.
What were the challenges again?
Those challenges change every year. In order for people to not watch the games every year and create some strategy on how to beat it just in case they get picked the next year, the games change every year.
Narina is going to say this information to them. And even in all of my reading and all of my studies, I have not read a single thing about the strategic analysis of the games.
Have you been to the games before?
No, I have never wasted my time.
Oh, they're always different. That's what keeps them exciting.
I think
Otherwise,
you and I
we'd
have
people like that guy really planning ahead.
Well, I don't see any loopholes out of this. It seems like a fairly legally binding contract here. But, good news. If the princess were to die, it doesn't seem like any of us would be liable.
See, I told you so. Wait, is Elijah back with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, never mind. Yes, see, I told you that. I said it'd be fine.
Well, all right.
I volunteered, so I think nobody should be fault if I do die.
Well then,
very...
it seems like either Rome or Princess Inez. Can I say that right? Should be the victors. I don't care to win. I was told to fill in. So that's what I'm doing.
The opportunity to represent a kingdom where nobody else volunteered doesn't sound like my first choice for a lovely afternoon.
I think we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have so much fun.
Hold up on the wrong side of the bed.
Well, when your bed's made of water.
Our beds are not made of water.
I bet everything else is.
As you guys are having this conversation, you start to hear fanfare above you and crowds cheering and screaming, shouting, and you hear a giant voice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this year's Elemental Games. The crowd goes up in a roar of cheers and excitement. We will now bring forth this year's champions. And as you say that, as he says that, the glowing platform, or the platform in the room starts glowing, ushering you guys all into specific glowing circles. Once all 5 of you step onto said platform, if you choose to do so now.
Oh yeah, Shiny bounces right over to it.
Yeah, Inez just straight up walks into it.
I stand at one edge of the circle, facing the other contestants.
Elijah steps in, but kind of folds his arms.
Almost said Rosira. Dang it.
Wow, that's so far back.
Yeah, I know. Narina slowly just kind of she's gonna roll up the scroll, the challenge scroll, and she's gonna tuck it under her arm.
Are you bringing the scroll to the arena with us?
You never know what you might need.
The platform starts rising up, and as you guys are going through this dark tunnel, you can see a light at the very top of it. Bits of confetti kind of falling down to you, raining down on top of you guys as you're going closer and closer up into the center of the Coliseum.
I dreamt this is how I would die.
What?
You dream about dying?
You don't?
That's so weird. No.
Well, I hope mine is glorious.
And then you guys make it
Attracting
into
people a
the
lot.
you make it into the center of the Coliseum, where people are just cheering, and you're blinded at first by the light because you're inside of this dark tunnel, followed by an array of different colors, almost like the entire Coliseum being filled with every race of creature known to man inside the stadium, watching you all. About 50 feet from where you are, there's a podium that's raised up. Water check. There's a podium that's raised up, and there lies a man, maybe no younger than like 45, standing there, giant red cape just flowing, beautifully multicolored clad armor on him, and a crown sitting on top of his head. And everyone's like, King Zarin, King Zarin, woo, we love King Zarin, let's go, Elemental Games, blah, 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 blah. And as he puts a hand up, the whole stadium grows silent. It is with great honor that I allow you all to join us for this year's Elemental Games. Everyone starts screaming, woo, Elemental Games, we love it, yeah! Silence, silence. Let us all take a look at our wonderful champions of this year. Yes? Very good indeed, yes. We love the champions. Oh, way to go, champions. Understand that you all are here to represent your kingdoms, each representing one element that shall bring forth, that represents one piece of the whole puzzle that gives us the entire unity that we have, the balance for the 5 elements. You have the water, and then all of the kingdom of Oshia is screaming as they're like cheering on Oshia. You can see, or as they're cheering on Narina, you can see your sister and you can see your stepdad kind of cheering you on in the audience. Woo! Yeah, let's go! Oh, and he's like, let's go, Narina! The kingdom of Navrich, representing Earth. And then you see everyone like screaming, oh my god, yay, let's go, Shiny! And Chloe's kind of just sitting there, just kind of gives like a fake little clap to you. Just, the kingdom of Cerule, where we have Rome the Reckless. Woo, Rome! Woo! And that little kid is like waving at you with his little doll that he had there initially. The kingdom of Lavar and the princess, no less, Princess Inez. Ah! Everyone's there. Her mom's just sitting there, just so stupid. This is so stupid. I can't believe we let this happen. Oh, relax, honey. She's gonna do fine. Let's go, Inez! Ah! And as he's like screaming, like fire's like actually leaving his mouth and like steam coming out of his ears, and people like next to him are like, oh my god. In the kingdom of Om, for lightning, we have Elijah. Woo! People are screaming. Zara's kind of like looking at you through like the doorway. She's not in the crowd. She's like looking at you through the doorway. You kind of catch her glance, and as she kind of like gives you a nod to like do what you're supposed to, Bungie jumps up on her shoulder and kind of like waves his little baby paw. He's like, and then like crawls back into the bag, and then they head off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. The crowd goes up in a roar. Everything's crazy. For the first challenge, and all of a sudden, it gets incredibly dark. And as you guys are looking around, it's not the same type of dark where if the clouds were to cover up the sky, or if they had put like a dome like closing off the open sky from the Coliseum. No, it just gets incredibly dark. And then it becomes incredibly silent as well. Narina, in this silence, you look at your wrist and you see this glue-blowing sigil of this manta ray that's on your wrist. And you hear a voice in the back of your head. You must be the one to save us, to save the kingdom, to restore balance. As it switches over to Shiny, on your forearm, you see this green sigil of this giant lemur there. And all of a sudden, you hear a voice in the background. You have to be the one to save our kingdom, to restore the balance, to do the right thing. Cuts over to Rome. Rome, on your shoulder, underneath your armor, it's glowing super bright, so much so that it's kind of projecting itself onto your armor itself, and you see this glowing yellow owl. And you hear a voice in the back of your head. You must do what must be done to restore the balance. You. Almost as if you can hear the voice turning its head sideways with that last you. Inez, you, on your ankle, start to feel this radiating heat. And as you look, you see this glowing red sigil of this ape on your ankle. And then you hear a voice in the background. You gotta do it. You gotta protect us. Restore the balance. It's up to you. Elijah, at first you're just watching everybody kind of glowing, and you're really confused because for once everybody looks like they're having the same moment that you're having, and you're like, oh great, I'm not the only one that's hearing this random disembodied voice. But nothing's happening initially for you. And then all of a sudden you all hear this giant booming voice coming from the darkness. Well, well, well. This year's champions? I don't think you guys can do anything. Looks like a weak, sorry lot to me. And as you hear this voice, you start to see these tendrils of dark energy flowing through the crowd, or in the direction of where the crowd would have been, because you guys are still shrouded in this darkness. And you can hear the screams of terror and just pure chaos of everyone in the audience being attacked by these tendrils. You're starting to feel the Colosseum itself tremble as you're seeing like clouds of dust starting to flow into the area where you guys are at. Hearing these screams, watching the Colosseum itself start to tear apart. The king is being escorted out by a couple of the knights. While this is going on, some of the tendrils start going towards you all. For Narina, Rome, Shiny, and Inez, as a tendril goes towards you, as if it were to deal a finishing blow, you're all of a sudden enveloped in this light. The sigils that you guys have are glowing brightly and forming this protective barrier around you, bouncing the darkness off of you initially. For Elijah, I need you to roll a Constitution for me, because you're getting hit by this.
You're being hit by the tendrils?
By the tendrils, yes.
Not 20.
As you get hit by this tendril, you're enveloped in the darkness. And while you're sitting here in this dark space, you see the ore that you have shining extremely bright in your pocket. As you pull it out, you would see this insignia of that dragon pop up, and he tells you, like I told you before, you're the one. You have to help us restore the peace.
Yeah, I heard it the first 3 times.
And then the energy that would have been inside of said stone that you used earlier shoots out in this chaotic just explosion in all directions. As this goes on, the darkness that swallowed you up dispels, and then you're being surrounded by this purple orb as well. As you guys are all viewing each other, surrounded in these various colored energies, you drop back down from that same platform that you came up in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of the first episode.
All right.
You just murder all of our friends, family, and pets in the first episode?
Meanwhile,
Metro.
don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. I swear. Meanwhile, off in
You're
the
gonna
distance-
traumatize us like this?
Hang on,
Absolutely.
meanwhile.
Meanwhile, off in the distance, far off from the kingdom, lies the Exen Chasm. A chasm that's supposed to be off limits to all in the kingdom, known for housing a dark and devious secret. And for some strange reason, the chasm is pulsating, almost as if some energy has been released. From that chasm comes a hooded figure. And that is the end of the first episode of Insurgence, the Elementals.
Oh my
All right.
god.
Sorry, yo.
Bruh, I'm fucking hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
sorry.
You're on fire.
I almost, when you said the king was being escorted out, my fucking tears were ready to pour out. I was like, no,
Already. Episode 1, tears.
Yeah. Listen, the last DM that told me everything would be all right, then murdered my children on repeat. So,
That guy.
Huh. I don't know who that guy was, but
That
Jesus.
Hi, man.
Oh my goodness. All right. How are we all feeling?
Ooh.
Feeling good.
I'm feeling really good actually. This is gonna be so fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to the story. Looking forward to the afters.
I'm very excited for everything that this story has. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you all, especially all of you guys in the audience. Thank you guys so much for viewing and watching. You guys are a big part of making this work out for us, and we couldn't do this without you, so thank you. I want to give a special shout out to all of my players. You guys made this so much easier for me, despite how nervous I was, but you all were kind of just making sure that I was good, and I appreciate you guys all for doing that as well. Okay. We need to figure out the whole convention of like who's going where. We'll do it in a zigzag actually. So if you're looking at the stream, it would be Inez, then Rome, then Narina, then Shiny, then Elijah. So from top left to bottom, tell us who you are, who you play, where they can find you.
Hi, my name is Hanny. I play Ines. Princess Ines, right? Excuse me. And you can find me here every, my Thursday, y'all's Wednesday. And otherwise on TikTok, local.hanny178.
Awesome.
Who's next?
That's you.
Okay. I'm playing Rome the Relentless, a paladin. You can find me here every Wednesday at, what is it, 8:30 p.m.? 9 p.m.?
Standard time.
And you can find me on Instagram at Rome Will Rise.
Nice. Narina, take them away.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Violet. I play Narina Boreas. And you can find me on TikTok at Violently Colored and here Wednesday nights on Roll for Trauma.
Hi, I'm Cole. I am playing Shiny Shekel. You can find me on TikTok at Cholioli, spelled just like my stream name, or here on Wednesdays at Roll for Trauma.
Hello. I'm Eddie. I play Elijah Zafir. You can find me here, of course, at Roll for Trauma or on any of the Roll for Trauma socials if you're ever looking for me, because we run this bitch.
Speaking of the socials, make sure you check that out. Follow us on Insta, on TikTok. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. The Discord is open for you to join, so go ahead and get in there. That way you can get all the notifications, talk to us, get some interactions with the players, behind the scenes type of deals, check out our Etsy. We got some really cool things out in there, and we got some really interesting stuff coming up as well for that too. With that being said, I'm Deontay. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at dapper_making 2.0. You can find me here Wednesdays, fuddling through DMing this wonderful campaign on Roll for Trauma. So until next time, make good choices, drink water, don't forget to smile. We love you guys. Say bye, players.
Bye, players.